Good morning, everybody. This is going to be my video assignment of the athletic facilities at Sumner Academy of Arts and Sciences in the Kansas City, Kansas public school system. We are going to take a look today at both of our gymnasiums, our common space, our concession space, and then the foyer and hallway that connects both of these. We're going to start this morning's tour in the older part of our building. Sumner Academy was actually created in the early 1900s, and then this building that we're in right now was actually opened in 1939. Sumner Academy originally started out as a segregated all African American high school, serving students of the Kansas City area. Again, where we're at is one of the oldest parts of the building. Currently resides on the National Historic Registry, and it was the main gymnasium of the old high school, Sumner High School. In 1978, the facility and the school went through a rebranding to become Sumner Academy, which is currently a magnet school. Anyone in the county of Wyandotte County can attend the school, and anyone in the county can apply to attend the school. Students must meet entrance qualifications. They need to test in. They have to have behavior, GPA, and recommendation marks from their teachers. And then while they're here, they must maintain a 2.5 GPA and eligibility on a regular basis. So starting here in what we affectionately at Sumner Academy call the Alumni Gym, you can see that some of the architecture reflects kind of the 1939 style. Seating, this event holds about 500 people. It's not really used for main athletic competitions. It is currently set up for practice and games for our 8th grade volleyball program. Sumner Academy does have 8th grade through 12th grade in its facility. You can see it has raised seating above to where it's above the actual court itself. The court was just recently refinished, and because of some water damage that happened during construction. You can also see here in the center, there's the Sumner High School logo, branding Sumner High School from 1905 to 1978 as the Sumner High School Spartans. Currently, because this gym isn't used for main athletic competitions, it serves as storage for some of our wrestling mats. It also is the main classroom for one of our veteran gym teachers. The teacher actually holds a special distinction for a lot of people because she actually taught at Sumner High School as well as Sumner Academy. You can see that a lot of branding has gone in to try to merge the two programs. There's the banner up here with the Sumner High School logo as well as the Sumner Academy logo. As the athletic director, I had the opportunity this summer to order some new scoreboards, and I took the opportunity to order new ones in black and orange to fit the motif of the old high school. They've done a pretty decent job in recent years of honoring the past. They've hung some banners for some basketball state championships or some athletic state championships that were earned during the time. The facility sits above locker rooms and then also the school's swimming pool. The swimming pool is currently out of commission due to some issues with the ceiling. However, that is being repaired and it should be open for normal classrooms. We won't necessarily go down there and take a look at those this morning. As far as some changes that we'd potentially like to see happen in this facility, you can see that it's got quite an aged roof in it right now that we would like to see eventually addressed at some point in time. You can also see, it might be a little hard with the light, but that there is ductwork that's currently painted blue and some of the trim that is painted blue. Many of the members of the athletic department and I have been talking. We'd like to eventually get this stuff all painted back to like a black and orange, similar to a way that it would have been when this was the Sumner High School gym. Also, we do have state championships and league championships that are not addressed with the banners that we have here. And so it is our desire to track down those and also hang those banners in here to create a little more honor for the individuals that were here in the early years of the school's history. So we're going to walk this way and we will leave our smaller gym that we refer to as the alumni gym. And we will we'll head down to our main gymnasium. We'll be headed, the part of the building that we'll be headed into now actually was constructed pre-1978, right before the new high school was open. As you can see on the way here, we have some trophy cases that honor some of our athletic and academic accomplishments, athletics and activities, being inclusive of academic sports as well as traditional athletic sports. Two of our more filled trophy cases are actually the debate and forensics trophy cases. The debate and forensics programs have won several state championships at the 4A and 5A level in Kansas. As far as entrances and exits for athletic events, typically on an athletic night, you'll find these doors open so that the public can enter in. There will be one, maybe two metal detectors set up here for parents to go through as they're coming in. You'll see we also use this foyer to hang up plaques for some of our state champions. We have a couple of state championships in women's bowling. We have a couple of state championships in basketball that we represent here, and then numerous league, sub-state, regional championships. We have honored a few alumni, including former Kansas Jayhawk Jeff Hawkins, by retiring their jerseys and hanging them in this location, and as well as a young lady who passed away during her time here at the academy. You'll see most of the decoration in here fits the blue motif of Sumner Academy, whose colors are blue and silver. As far as increases would go, we'd like to see things with a new coat of paint. We'd like to incorporate the silver color in a little more. Currently, our building is still under construction. They're spending about $6.6 million to replace the plumbing in the entire facility, which then also ends up impacting a couple of the electrical projects and things like that. We do have some cool old ticket booths for people to come to purchase them. And being in an urban location, we do like to have the security of the cash box and things like that. But for the most part, Sumner Academy is a very safe place. You can see we do have a plaque here recognizing 1974 is when they constructed the new cafeteria and gymnasium. The gymnasium actually sits on top of the cafeteria. So we won't necessarily walk down into the cafeteria. However, it is down those stairs. It provides an alternate fire exit as well as overflow seating for nights that we have big games and the concessions area might be a little underused. Now we're going to head into the common space. This is one of our underutilized spaces here in the building. We have some furniture that we've purchased to try to make this a little homier. We have hung a TV in here for announcements. That's something that we started at the end of the year last year. Again, we do have some trophy cases. They do recognize some of the state boys track and basketball championships, but we don't have as many of our trophies out and prominently on display. Again, speaking with members of the athletic department, it's our desire to make sure that this is sort of like a very inclusive, honoring space of all of the athletics and activities that have been at Sumner Academy during its time. This space is open to that cafeteria space we were speaking about earlier. This is accessible to students throughout the day. You'll find many students up here studying during lunch because it's just a little bit quieter than it normally is. We're going to take a walk back around and we're going to go take a look at our concession stand and then our main gymnasium. The main gymnasium's seating capacity is just a shade over 1,000. We have a large empty area behind our bleachers in between that common space that we just looked at, as well as our concession stand. Again, as I referenced before, Sumner is going a pretty hefty renovation right now, and because of that, this has become kind of a catching place for many of the things that are being taken out of the building that are waiting to be taken out, or things that can't be stored in their proper location because of our construction. So we're gonna poke our head in here and take a look at our concession stand setup. You'll see we're currently going through a reorganization process. They've come in and addressed some of the plumbing needs, and that kind of had things become a little more disheveled than they normally would have been. So we said if they're going to come in and make a mess, we're going to make the best out of the situation, and we're going to come in and redo things so that it is a little bit more user friendly. As far as some updates that we'd like to see in here, we do plan on purchasing new cabinetry to go around the plumbing that they have fixed here in the concession stand. That's a long-term kind of bucket list thing. We'd also like to try to create some more freezer space and some more cooler space, but you can see we're working with a pretty tight space, and it is a very interesting operation when they are excuse me, serving about 1,000 people here on a popular game night. So we will take a look down here. You might be wondering the banners that I may or may not have mentioned. So these banners, our district, the Kansas City, Kansas Public School District, has an initiative called the Reasons to Believe, and the banners that are hanging all around the facility back here are the Sumner Academy Reasons to Believe. You'll also find that this is the home of several of the classy gifts, large banners from the 90s. We have a piece of artwork that is kind of like a blending of the Sabre and the Spartan program. That's a gift from class of 2015. So, as far as I can tell, these bleachers are the original ones that were put in 1978. The court has been refinished and repainted in the last few years, but the bleachers and much of the other material is the same that was put in 1978. You'll see a banner outlining the class or the school alma mater. You'll find them singing that during pep rallies, also before and after games, regardless of win or lose. Our kids are pretty prideful. Again, had the opportunity to order a couple new scoreboards. You'll see when these were ordered the last time, they were ordered in blue and white, and I've reordered them in blue and silver, as white is not a primary color of Sumner Academy. You'll also find that most of the state league banners for Sumner Academy are hung in here, as well as symbols, or as well as our symbol and the Kansas City Atchison League symbol. You'll see over here on the far end what looks like some pretty old and tattered banners. You would be absolutely correct. Those banners are 100% old, tattered, and faded, and it is actually an initiative of our athletic department this year to go through the process of replacing those. To be honest with you, I'm a Jayhawk from my undergrad career, and I enjoy the banners that they have hanging at Allen Fieldhouse that consolidate the Big 12 championships, so on and so forth. And so that's something that we're actually going to do, is rather than consolidating the state championships, we're going to leave those as individual banners. We're going to actually hang them through from the rafters here along or over the bleachers, and then we are going to consolidate the rest of the league championships by sport. That way we can take a look at that, or that way we can have a better sense of pride, a better overall feel in the gym. I know the place looks really cold, kind of, while it's empty, with a lot of concrete and a little bit of wood. But you should. I wish you guys could be here on a game night, because there is a pretty solid atmosphere. We're going to take a quick trip down to our locker rooms that serve our officials, our students, both during the day and in the evening. They're pretty basic locker rooms. They, again, have received some plumbing modification, but nothing really special at this point. We'd actually like to see some of this space that is used currently just for storage. We'd like to see some of this space, some walls removed, and we'd like to extend our weight training program into these spaces. So as we walk into this little piece of the locker room, you'll see some lovely 1970s colors. You'll see some damaged lockers, as well as some lockers that have been maintained really well. This is really the hub of all of our sports. This is where you'll find wrestling, basketball, track, all the sports that we do on site here at the academy. This is where these lockers will be checked out to individuals, and they'll store their stuff. So you can see on the floor some of the floors had to be taken up and replaced because of that. We have a couple of coaching offices that reside here in the center. Most of those offices are currently used for storage or for the offices of our gym teachers. You'll see we have a lovely temporary plywood stall to go with our plumbing modifications as well. You'll have a nice laundry facility here with some very dated laundry machines, but this allows us to do most of our laundry in-house, which allows us to keep our uniforms in nice working condition, as we don't get them as often as some other programs might. I hope you enjoyed your tour of Sumner Academy with me this morning. I I hope you enjoyed some of my suggestions about some of the things that we would like to see done, and I look forward to accomplishing several of those goals. I've gone already in my limited time as athletic director here out of my way to try to restart the Sumner Academy Booster Club program so that we can get some funding that is not dependent upon the state and or the district, and to try to improve the services and the facilities of for our kids. Again, most of the facilities that you saw today, they host our home wrestling meets. They host our home basketball games, boys and girls. Again, we do serve 8th grade through 12th grade here, so that means we have pretty much twice as many sporting events going on as a traditional school does, because every sport that we have for the high schoolers, we also have for the middle schools, with the exception of like tennis, golf, and some of the ancillary sports that actually CASHA doesn't sanction. So again, thank you for your time this morning, and for those of you who stuck around all the way through your 21-minute video, or my 21-minute video. I really thought I was going to have an issue making this go 10 minutes, but the longer I went, the more I felt like I had to share. So thank you again, and have a great day.